few services and S3 in detail. So yeah, let me
Okay.
share my screen. Let me know if my console is visible, AWS console.
Okay. Yeah, it visible now.
It is visible, right? So
Yeah.
whenever you log in, it will like redirect you to here. So I hope you are able to log in using your email address, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So when you log in for first time, you won't be seeing any services here because you have not visited any of them. So once you visit any of the service, that would be reflected here for your future reference, easier access. So
Okay.
the first thing here that you need to know about is I will explain you what regions are, but for just now, just remember like on the right side, you have a city called, these are called regions in cloud,
Okay.
and you should be creating your services or what all the resources that you have into your closest region. For example, if you live near North Virginia, if that is closer to you, you should be creating resources in here. You can always create in any of the region. You can even create in Hyderabad, you can create in Mumbai, but it would be better if you create your cloud resources which is close to you, so that it would be like little bit faster when you access it.
Okay.
You're getting it? So AWS has various regions, and you should be choosing one of them as per your what do we call interest, or where your customers are deployed. So, for example, it makes no sense if your application is created in North Virginia and all your users of your, for example, Amazon. If Amazon.in is for India, right? If you are aware, and Amazon.com, I guess it's for the US. And if Amazon.in is deployed in North Virginia, and all the users that the traffic that website gets from India, so it makes no sense. Like it would be a little laggy, little slow. So basically, depending on your customers, the usage, where they are accessing your websites or where they are accessing your applications, you need to deploy your cloud services in that region. Is this
Okay.
clear, Pranit, till here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Clear? Okay. Okay, so on the right side, this would be your regions, and rightmost side, this would be your account related things like your account ID, which gets auto generated, and your
Yeah. Yeah.
account organization, all those stuff would be there. But okay, so this would be the basic console, and when you click on services, this is what we are looking for. So you can see hell lot of services. There would be around 200 services, be it any cloud, even AWS, it is around 200 in GCP, Google Cloud, it is 200 in Azure also. They have a lot of services. So all the cloud services have various services. So these are all individual services: S3, RDS, DMS, Glue, Lambda functions, Athena, Secret. These are all individual services. So
Okay.
they have categorized these services into certain sections. Like for example, they have categorized into analytics, and this section would have all analytics related services. And they have categorized something to application integration, which will have all applications building, messaging things into this. So blockchain, business applications, game development, storage. So simple, if you remember S3, simple storage service, right? Just like buckets, you can upload your
Yeah.
files. That comes under storage because you're storing it. So you have other services as well. And even for robotics, quantum technologies, they, I mean, AWS supports lot of things: game developments, internet of things, lot of things. But we are only considered about the data engineering things and little bit of compute and those stuff which are used. So no matter how many services that AWS provides, be it any company, your task would be revolving around 10 or 15 major services. Like I can assure you that any team that you are going to work with would you would your scope would be revolving around 4 to 5 services only, depending on what your role is. If you're data scientist, you would be working on maybe 4 to 5 major your related services. If you're data engineer,
Yes.
maybe 10 services that you would be revolving around. So depending on it. So if you are a game developer, you would be working on that related stuff. So this is how AWS services are categorized into, and what we would be focusing on as a data engineer. I have already in my previous trainings, I have bookmark. You can bookmark, or there would be, whenever you open a service, right? Like on to left, there would be a star icon. So if you click on it, it would be pinned. It would be pinned to your uh, you know what do we call the toolbar, or for easier access on the top, so that you
Okay.
need not search every time. So we'll first go through the list of services. So Athena, this we would be using it. Cloud search not needed. So EMR, as I said, this is like a server based EMR, and serverless version of EMR is Glue. Okay,
Glue.
so if you see here, AWS, the beautiful thing is, under each service, you will be having a definition of it, like quick introduction, what the service does. So
Okay.
this makes us less confusing if you are a beginner. Okay, so if you see here, AWS Glue is a serverless data integration service, and
Service.
whenever you see a word called managed, managed means it's not serverless. You need to deploy all that stuff, take care of provisioning and all that stuff. Hey, sorry, I did not start recording. Do you want me?
Yeah,
Okay,
yes.
you have already started.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's
I did already.
you have started the recording. Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay. I have bookmarked EMR, Glue, Data Brew is one thing, but that is for a visual, drag and drop based of thing. Less of PySpark, more of like a visual drag and drop thing. So Glue is more powerful since we write code in PySpark. So what else? QuickSight is for visualization. In our, yesterday's call we
Yeah,
saw
yesterday.
visualization, Power BI, QuickSight, Tableau. So
Correct.
QuickSight is AWS offering. So Amazon Redshift is again a data warehouse. So its alternative is Snowflake, as I said, but Snowflake you won't find it here because it's a different company altogether. So
Yes.
Redshift is a data warehouse which of Amazon. So these are the major services under analytics, and in application integration we would be using EventBridge. I would be explaining like in detail when we go through services one by one. And you use SNS and SQS for messaging. You use step function for orchestration. As I said yesterday, orchestration is a way to define what should happen after what. Like it's like a orchestrating things, like what should happen, when should happen, all that stuff. So we would
Okay.
be also seeing step functions. So I just bookmarked this. Blockchain, I don't think we would be using. Finance management, no. So in compute, one important thing is I'll show you EC2. And so basically EC2 and Lambda are the compute things. So this is again a server. We need to manage all the servers, and this is a serverless. Okay, if you see here, run code without thinking about servers, meaning you
Okay.
don't worry about the provisioning server system. You just bring some code. I will give you execute, a space to execute them. That's what Lambda function is. We would be using extensively throughout our training the Lambda functions. Okay, so containers, it's like a DevOps thing that they have Kubernetes and all that things coming up. So databases is one thing that is important for us. DynamoDB, we'll see DocumentDB at the end, and RDS is main thing for us.
Okay.
Developer tools, not related to us. Front end web mobile, not related to us. Game development, internet, machine learning. In machine learning, we don't think anything that we need. Okay, under management and governance, we would be seeing cloud formation, CloudWatch. What else we can have? Okay, media services. I don't think we would be using any of the media services. One thing that's important for us is migration services, database migration. Okay, so
Okay.
database migration comes into picture when you have some data tables in your on-premise, or any other cloud. You want to bring it to your account, all the data. So that's when you use migration
Okay.
service. Okay, networking. No. But we will quickly have a look on what VPC is. I will teach you that. And storage of, there's one thing, IAM. Yeah, this is access management, secrets manager. Yes. the storage. So storage
Okay.
S3 we are using. Yeah. So this should be it, and you can find all of the pinned services in your toolbar once you star them, bookmark them, so that you can easily access them. And basically the way I mean, once you are familiar with these things, and the way you can connect to AWS is in three ways. So first thing, as we are seeing, you log in into your console, do things manually. And second thing is, there is something called cloud shell. Okay, this will open up a command line kind of thing, and just like your command prompt. So what we do here is, few developers, they are more interested in doing things in a command based way. Like for example, if you want to upload a file, usually from console we do it, but if they want to do it using some commands, by executing commands, so they would be, I mean, we can do that as well. So that's what. So we'll see this command line. And third way is, one is from console, you can access these things. Second is, as I said, the command line, cloud shell. And the third thing is using Python. There is a tool called Boto3, not tool, it's a library. And using Boto3, you can access all these things from your Python code. So
Okay.
basically, these are the three ways that you can access your AWS. Okay, and what we want to see. Okay, we'll quickly go back to since I mean, just that we had a look of how the console looks like and how to navigate to the services and search services. So I missed this one. So if you want to search something, if you are unable to find any, for example, if you want to see what S3 is and you are having trouble finding these things, you can quickly search it here. So just search
Okay.
S3, and that will show up here in the services. And when you open it, so that would be opening your S3. This is a S3 service. So similarly, you can open any of the service. For example, if you want to open Glue, since I bookmarked here, I can do it this way, or I can just search here, Glue, and this will show the results. You can right click and open, or directly click here also, and this will open your Glue console. So this is the home page, but when you click on any of the service, that will take you to that service page. For example, this is how Glue console looks like. This is how the S3 simple storage service console looks like. They have buckets and all that stuff. Okay,
Okay.
so this is how you log in, search your services, and maybe bookmark. And this is here, there would be the region that you want to log in, and all your services should be created in any of one region, like of your choice. Okay, this
Okay.
is account page. This is where you use cloud shell when you click here. And yeah, these are the major things in this one. And we'll quickly go through some conceptual things, and we'll come back here and we'll set up some billing or alarms so that you won't be incurring costs like by mistake.
Okay.
I'm loading my whiteboard. It's asking for my. Let me share my screen. Let me know if my whiteboard is visible to you. Can you see? Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you see my whiteboard?
Yeah, I can see now, sir.
Is it okay? Okay. 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 We'll start quickly with what the cloud is and how it's different from on-prem. So yesterday,
Okay.
I didn't explain you one concept called on-prem versus cloud regarding the terminology. Okay, there is
Okay.
something called on-prem, or you can call it as on-premise. In your in full term, and there's something called cloud.
Okay.
Okay, so the difference between on-prem and cloud is on-prem. It's a shortcut, but I mean it's called on-premise. So whenever consider you are an owner of your company, and all your systems that you have in your company, okay, that are installed, those, I mean, those are deployed physically in your company. For example, let this be your company, and you have hell lot of systems, right? All the computer systems, the storage, and the CPUs, whatever, all these things are deployed physically in your at your place, right? Is that correct? So
Mm-hmm.
once you own a company, you have all your systems which are physically installed at your place. Okay, and you have all your employees working there, and all your operations, like be it your websites, mobile applications, they are all deployed and what do we call developed in your place, and all the data that you have regarding your company's details and all that application details would be stored at your place. Okay,
Okay.
in your company physically, right? That's called on-prem. So when I say on-prem physically, means your computers, the storage, the CPUs, the network, everything that requires physical installation hardware at your place. Okay, you need to buy it,
Okay.
you need to install, get them installed by technicians and all that stuff, right? This is called on-prem. Okay, and now cloud. What is cloud? So similar to whatever the operations that you are doing, but you won't have any systems in your physical place. You won't install any hardware. Instead, what you would be doing is you would be using a cloud somewhere. Okay, you would be using a cloud somewhere, and you would be interacting with the cloud. So you only have persons, I mean, be it data engineers, cloud engineers, you only have technical people, but these guys would be accessing all your applications from somewhere else, right? All the systems, physical resources, the hardware are installed on a cloud, and you need not worry about the installation, the upgrades, the maintenance of your physical hardware. You're getting it?
Yeah, yeah.
Got you? Or let me know if you have any understanding gap here, because this is important.
Okay.
Okay,
Once you go through it, I mean, can you repeat again to this?
yeah, sure. So basically, there are two things. Okay, one
Okay.
is
One
on-prem,
on-premise.
on-premise. Second one is cloud. So the major difference here is not the major difference. Actual difference itself is all your needed hardware. Okay, what do you call hardware? It's your computer systems. It's your hard disks that you store data in, right? All
Yeah.
your
Any
CPUs,
memory. Yeah.
monitors, etc. All your physical hardware that you need to run your applications, or those things, if they are installed physically in your company at your workplace, okay, in your in your office, if the all those stuff are installed physically, the hardware, that is called on-prem.
Okay.
Getting it? All your data would be stored at your place, all the systems hardware is already at your place, and that's how it's called on-premise.
Okay.
Getting? So second thing, cloud. What is cloud? So you say, hey, my company is quite new, and I do not want to install any hardware in my company, in my at my workplace, the office. Instead, I would be using a cloud service provider. Okay, and this is how they use this. All the physical hardware, the CPUs, the storage devices, all that stuff would be installed somewhere else on the cloud, and you just need internet connectivity to connect to that and do your work. Whatever that you were doing in on-prem, you can do the similar stuff from cloud by having an internet connection to that cloud, and you do all the operations that you do.
Okay,
and
got
you
it.
need not worry about the maintenance of your hardware, the upgrades, the periodic scheduling thing, maintenance, nothing. You need not procure them, you need not buy them, you need not get it installed by a technician. Getting it
Yeah, yes.
clear? Sure, right?
Yeah.
So this is how I mean the regular on-prem and cloud differs in the what do you call architecture. So here the point is the benefits. You can ask me why why not on-prem, and why the companies are these days going to cloud. Okay, the first important thing is cost. Okay, so consider you are an owner of your company and you want to buy all these things and install the hardware. Would it be costly, right? Initial setup.
Yeah, when you starting a new company, it be some
Yeah, it
cost
would be
some money,
very,
right?
yeah, it costs a lot, and you need to have a maintenance people, IT admins who to install
Yeah.
them, periodically monitor them. If for some reason, if your application or the hardware fails, okay, your entire applications will go down. For example, if there's a data loss, then that's gone. Like if you lose your all, for example, if you are an Amazon or something, and you lose your database itself, like which stores all the product details, this
Yeah.
literally would be like no products would be shown on websites to the customers. All product details are gone. So there is a high chance of failures of data failure, or the computer the what do you call the compute CPU's failure. There would be a lot of issues, and also cost. This is costly because initial setup needs a lot of investment to create, procure, or buy all these things and do it, right? You're getting
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
So this is the reason why these days people are moving towards cloud, and the major factor is less cost. Okay, why
Okay.
does it cost less? Because you're not owning your computer. This is a rent based. Okay, I can say you as rentals, or rental based. So why we are calling it rental based is this follows a model called pay as you go. Okay, pay as you go. Let me type in here, pay as you go model. Okay, whenever it's called pay as you go model, okay, meaning you would be paying for what you used in that particular month. Okay, for
Okay.
example, if you in on premise, if you bought very high standard of systems, like high what we configuration systems, and you're not using it anyways, you are using it for base minimum operations, that's a waste of cost, right? Anyways, you're not using up to the fullest. But in cloud it's not that way. So whatever, if you are using it like for very few smaller things, you just only pay for that. Okay, since it is low cost thing, pay as you go. So pay as you go, you can consider in a good example as your electricity bill. I'm not sure in the US how you would be paying it, whether it's prepaid or postpaid. But in India, how much usage that we have, we would be getting billed for, only that in that month. So
This is
once the bill is
same.
generated, same, right?
Yeah, yeah, same.
Yeah. So, for example, you might be getting a bill of, $200, $300, depending on the usage. You would be, getting that bill generated.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
after that, you pay it, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how it's more efficient. I mean the cloud. And the first thing is cost benefit. Second thing is scalability. And for example, you initially you thought that um, you are you predicted that you would be getting a 5 GB of data. Okay, 5 GB of data. Okay, and once I mean your product got clicked very much and you are successful, your product website is successful, and due to that, now there are a lot of customers, and this size of the data that you are supposed to store increased to 10 GB. Initially you predicted that 5 GB of data you would be getting, but now due to quite a lot of users, you are required to store 10 GB. Okay, in this case, the second benefit is, first is less cost, second is called scalability. There's something called a term called scalability. Okay, what does this mean? Your services would be scaling as per the demand. You're getting it? So for
Yeah.
example, it's not that since you predicted only 5 GB, the cloud says, hey, we are going to store only 5 GB. It's not like that. It will automatically scale, you know, up to 10
As per
GB
our
as per
user.
the demand usage.
Okay.
Right, as per the usage. So I'll just have something called data and unlimited storage. You can say
Okay.
cloud has unlimited storage. But similarly, when you go with on-prem, you cannot do this because since you predicted that the size would be 5 GB, you will only procure or buy that particular hard drive or something only of 5 GB size. But what if the
Yeah.
size increases? You need to buy another, migrate the data, dump it. Like there's a hell lot of maintenance work, right? So
Yes.
first thing is on cloud, it's less costly because it's a pay as you go model, rental based. Second thing, scalability, and third thing is failures. In
Uh,
on prem,
On-prem.
definitely you're prone to failures. No matter how solid you do, like there could be some reasons, some hardware failures which will kill your maybe the CPUs or the processing units, etc. And data could be lost due to some natural calamities. If there is a you might be understanding, right? If there is a natural
Yes.
calamity there, then your small data center which is in your on prem, that can be gone. So third thing is failures. So it is very fault tolerant, your cloud. Okay, you can call it as fault resistance. Fault resistance. Resistant, we can say. Okay, you're getting it right. So these are the
Okay.
major advantages of going with cloud, and one such cloud provider is AWS. Okay, now
Okay.
if you see in this diagram, the area that you are seeing this, right, cloud. Okay, it's the AWS that is providing you all these things, storage, compute, all this stuff. Similar to
Yeah.
AWS, you have other alternatives also, as Google Cloud or
Google
Microsoft
Cloud.
Azure. These are the big
Okay.
three, and AWS is biggest among the big three.
Okay.
Got you? Okay.
Yes.
So now that you have good understanding of what on-prem and what cloud means, but uh, the major requirement to access cloud is internet. So you can only access a cloud using internet. I mean, if there is no internet, you cannot log into your console itself, right? So
Yes.
once you are able to log into console, you play with S3, you play with Lambda functions, all these things would be, come under this cloud. And
Okay.
it is you who is opening that console from your, local system, just like how we are doing. So here the people would be opening the console the similar way that we are, opening in our, personal laptops, and they would be connecting to cloud from the console
Okay.
by logging in. Got you? Any doubts,
No,
Pranay,
sir.
till here?
No, no.
Okay, now that we have covered what is cloud, the basic introduction of cloud, we would be seeing, okay, what the cloud provides. This is important little bit. Okay, so consider this is your AWS account. Okay, AWS cloud. Once you create your account, you are given the you know credentials. You log in and okay, yeah. So the major components of any cloud, be it AWS or any other cloud, the four things that a cloud provides you are storage. First thing is storage, right? You want to store
Okay.
your data, the 5 GB, 10 GB, whatever. First thing is storage. Second thing is compute. What does compute mean? It's the CPU, like how to run a particular task. If you are playing game, you need a CPU, right? Otherwise, if there is no CPU, it's just a monitor. You
Yes.
just be watching, movies. But if you want to process something, you would need compute, right? The CPU, right?
Yes.
So one is storage, compute. Third one is networking things, like that's where all that IP address things, the VPCs, the subnets, all security groups come into picture. But this is of very little concern for us because we are not an admin, or it's not an like IT admin networking training. We are more focused on data engineering and the development things. You're getting it right.
Yeah.
and storage, compute, networking, and final thing is database, the DB. Okay.
Okay.
Storage, the difference between storage and database is storage you can have any format, like in S3 you can have any types of files, right? Like video files, audio files, text
Audio
files,
files.
all
Yes.
that stuff, MP3. Yeah, but for database, as I just said yesterday, it would be tables, records, columns, all that stuff. So it is for pure data engineer stuff, data analyst, the business intelligence team stuff is the DB. Storage is a regular guy's work also, like me and you can also even a common man can use S3 and upload his files there for
Yeah.
just like drive, your drive, my drive, or what do we call, there is something called OneDrive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
One.
OneDrive, all that stuff. Yeah, compute is again compute. So I hope these four are clear for you, like what any cloud offers. This can be categorized into four major components.
Okay.
Clear till here? Please
Yes.
feel free
Yes.
to ask me, repeat something. I don't,
No,
uh,
no, no. I'm
like,
good with this.
yeah. Okay. So now that we have covered what cloud is, what provides, so we would be heading back to our
I mean,
console.
can you one more time explain about on that compute thing? Like
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So compute. Okay. So if you
you said on
want
the,
to,
like CPUs, something like that, right?
yes, yes, yeah, yeah. So consider something called pen drive, right? Pen drive, hard disk, what it is used
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
it is used to store your data, right? So
Okay.
that storage on cloud, that is given by S3. Okay, there are other services as well, but for our easier understanding, AWS cloud provides four major components and storage is one such. If you take your on-prem example, it would be pen drives, hard disk, etc., right? So
Okay.
coming to compute, if you take your example of CPUs, the processing, I mean, you have i3, i5, all that stuff,
Yeah.
right? AMD
Processors.
processors. Yeah, correct, correct. Intel processor, AMD processor, all that stuff on cloud, they are categorized as compute. Okay.
Okay.
And cloud will take care of provisioning all that stuff. You need not buy them or, install them by your own, by
Okay.
yourself. Getting it? So that's what compute power is. So there are a lot of services within compute as well. One such example is Lambda function and EC2. These
Okay.
two are, they belong to compute.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, networking thing. So in on-prem you need to maintain a lot of things, like the routers, the internet, all the IP addresses, all that stuff, MAC addresses. There will be a lot of stuff within networking, because networking it's in itself is a vast subject. So when you are using cloud, you need not worry about all that physical connections and all that stuff. So cloud provides its own way of doing that, using a thing called VPC, virtual private cloud.
Okay.
Okay. And coming to database, this is
Database. Okay.
important for us. So okay, if it is in on-prem, okay, you need to install MySQL, physically you need to install, Oracle. Depending on the database that you are using, you need to install them physically in one of your computers and use them as a server, database, the DB server. But here in AWS cloud, you can create all those instances, or can install them everything on cloud. You need not have it anything in your local system, local office, in your workplace. So
Okay.
everything related to database can also be created in cloud itself.
Okay.
You're getting it?
Yes.
So once all your resources or services are created in AWS cloud, you just need internet connection from your personal or office laptop, and you would be able to access all of them once you log into this cloud using your
Okay.
email address or IAM user, etc.
Okay.
Clear till here?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. So let us head back to the console. Actually, I guess it would be better if I. Okay, we'll do one thing. Okay, we will cover one more topic called regions and availability zones, like conceptually, and we will on the console we will set up billing, you know, like so that by mistake if you create, you know, some resources and leave them running, you need not incur cost. You would be getting emails regarding that alarms. So
Okay.
okay, are you able to see my whiteboard again?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So so you can ask me. So whenever you are saying cloud, you are saying talking about all the, you know, CPUs, all the hardware that is installed somewhere. So you can ask me, is it something really on cloud, or is it a hardware which is installed at a different place? Because in reality we are doing all this stuff by installing on-prem. We are installing the hardware in your workplace, right? You
Yeah.
definitely need hardware sometime or the other. So on cloud also, is it something like it's literally in the cloud, or do you have these systems installed somewhere from where we are accessing it? So that's the question. The answer is yes. Cloud doesn't mean that it's literally from cloud, like, you know, it actually has all the hardware. It's some dedicated place, and it is just that you are connecting to it and accessing them through internet. You're getting it right. So once you pay, I mean, since you are, you know, getting the offerings from AWS cloud, they would be, you know, generating the bill and we would be paying it, right? So they would be maintaining all this stuff at a dedicated place, and that is called a data center. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let me just show you how a cloud works. So basically, when you are connecting to a cloud, right? So AWS would have certain regions. Okay, for example, um for example, consider this as a globe. Okay, our globe, the earth,
Okay.
right? And here it would be India, here it would be US, here Australia, all this stuff, right? So what AWS does is, if you remember the console on the right side, there would be regions, right? When I said Mumbai region, Hyderabad region,
Hyderabad.
and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah, similarly we have North Virginia, Ohio in the US, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so what does this region mean? Region means AWS has literally, you know, a physical center where it actually has all the, you know, hardware created in it. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
you're getting it right. It
Yeah.
doesn't,
Yeah.
it just eliminates your necessity to install it in your
In
your
HR
workplace or
place. Yeah.
your office, yeah, in your organization. But it doesn't mean that it's not cloud, doesn't mean that it's not there. It would be there, but AWS would be maintaining it at a dedicated places called regions. So that is called regions. So currently AWS has, I guess, maybe 29 or 30 regions, and it is increasing day by day. Like every 6 months, or, you know, every year they come up with new regions. They would open in Japan, they would open in Singapore. They would be creating a lot of regions for, you know, better access, better availability of the customers. And AWS, since it has lot of customers throughout the globe, so it has lot of different regions. Okay, you're
Yeah.
getting it right.
Yes. Yes.
Clear till here? Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
The major concept is cloud doesn't mean literally cloud. It has some physical
Some offices.
hardware,
Yeah. Somewhere
yeah,
it will be installed and
somewhere,
yeah.
and yeah, and from there we are just connecting to them using internet and using it.
Yeah.
Okay, and now the offices or the dedicated centers that AWS, you know, maintains them are called data centers. Okay,
Okay.
data centers, these are a huge collections of, you know, the processing and, you know, the data storage units that AWS, you know, maintains. For example, like all the data centers, like these are like huge offices or premises, you can consider them. And this would be having all the CPUs, storage, networking things, everything. And they would be, you know, packing this as a one region. Like for example, North Virginia is one such region, and just imagine. Okay,
Okay.
and okay, AWS call it just gives them a name like US East one, US West one, and there would be, you know, different region names that AWS provides, and you would be choosing your closest one to create the resources in. For example, if you're living closer to North Virginia, you can create all your resources, the compute, storage, DBs, etc. in North Virginia region only. By choosing that in your console, you create resources there. Okay, clear till here? AWS has
Yeah.
data centers. And now the important thing is there is something called availability zones, AZs. We simply call them AZs. What is
Okay.
AZ means? Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, for example, let's expand this diagram, which is North Virginia. Okay, this is North Virginia, and within a single region also they have multiple places of data centers. Like for example, this may have data center 1, data center 2, and data center 3. Okay, and within
Okay.
each data center you have your compute, storage, similarly just like in this diagram. So for each data center, what I'm supposed to say is they have their own data storage and compute capacity. So this is called availability zone 1, availability zone 2, and availability zone
Three.
3. And this entire thing is called a region. Okay,
Okay.
you're getting it clear till here? So
Yeah. Yeah.
in short, every region has multiple availability zones within it.
Okay.
So the minimum is 2 and maximum it can be 3 or more. But minimum every region should have at least 2 availability zones. Okay,
Okay.
now you can ask me, why do we need multiple availability zones? Because region itself is a place where they are creating it to closest to the customers. Like you have your North Virginia, Ohio, Mumbai, all the stuff. But within Mumbai also, why do we need availability zone 1, availability zone 2, availability zone 3? Why do we need them? Because of,
Is it
as I said,
large
one of
data or something like that?
can you come again?
I mean, large set of data or something like that, right?
Correct, correct, exactly. There's something called fault resistant, right? Like
Yeah.
since we AWS claims that everything is fault resistant, they want to isolate, within the region. Like for example, if something mishap happens and due to some calamity, if even if a availability zones gets completely, broken, like
Okay.
it
Destroyed.
fails, destroys, okay, then immediately the customers are not affected because they are connected to the region itself. And within region, if one availability fails, immediately availability other availabilities would be taking the charge and they would be providing the support. And all the
Okay.
data that you have in AWS availability zone 1 is in sync with all the availability zones within that region, meaning these are replications of each other. These are copies of each other.
Okay.
Getting it? So the same data and the storage, whatever the compute resources that you have in EZ1, it would be a copy of AZ3 and AZ2. So the same things are deployed in multiple places, so that even if one such availability zones is crashed, immediately other availability zones would be helpful for the user. So this makes the regions and the entire AWS as highly available and fault resistant. So you can say it's always highly available, because even if one availability zone crashes, uh, you would be having other AZs to support the customers or the users. Getting it? So it's called highly available, fault resistance, and if these three are completely isolated within the same region, so that one these are anyways, why I'm saying these are prone to crashes or due to calamities, right? Because these are literally physical data centers. Because as I said, there's nothing on cloud, but it is just that these are installed at their own regions, but these are at the end of the day, these are you know uh, physical hardware that they have at their dedicated regions. You're getting it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Clear till here, Pranit? Or if
Yes.
you have any doubt, I'll more than happy to make you understand here.
Okay. I'm good, sir. I'm good.
Okay. You got the idea of basic idea of cloud, right? Like
Yeah.
data centers,
Data
regions,
centers.
multiple,
What is
and
cloud?
what a cloud provides, like how it is helpful from regular. physical hardware in your company and how you the benefits of having it on cloud. Okay,
Oh,
now that we have got this understanding. mm, are you fine if we go with the console thing today, or you are almost done for the day, or you want to start fresh? It's up to you, depending on your uh, availability.
okay. I'm good. I mean, mm, it's
If it
almost
is,
like 1:30 now in the US. I mean, my
oh my,
time.
okay, okay.
I'm a
I
little
think
bit
if
tired
that,
too. I mean, if
yeah,
it
yeah,
is
yeah.
not too long, we can do that too, sir.
Too long. I think I suggest, okay, we can do it, but since you are almost done for the day, I would say we would be starting fresh with the console thing so that it would be little interesting for you. Because now that we are done with the theoretical things, you know, what do you say?
O-
It's up to you.
Okay, we can start tomorrow then on the console thing. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay, we first what we'll be doing tomorrow is we will be creating a billing alert, and then quickly we'll get started with our very first service called S3, simple storage
Okay,
service in hands-on. Okay, we
okay,
will be seeing the hands-on tomorrow for S3, and other basic stuff on console. Yeah.
okay. Thank you, sir.
So did you hope you understood the concepts today, and
Yeah,
feel
it's
free
clear.
if you
It's
have any doubts.
no, no. I'm all clear with this. I mean,
Oh, okay.
when I'm done with this, like I will go through these recordings and one more time, and I clearly.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Yeah. So since that you are quite new to the terminologies, I am explaining little, from basics,
Yeah,
like so that you will understand the terms. So
yeah.
yeah,
Really appreciate for that, sir.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
So,
Have a good night, Pranit.
right.
Yeah,
Okay. So we
thanks.
will be starting tomorrow at 12:30, right? Like 10 o'clock for you in the morning.
10, yeah, fine. 10, yeah. 10 to
Okay.
11, we can have a session just like how we did today.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
I
Pranit.
see you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
bye. Yeah.